Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope you're in good health and iman. This is your brother Azal Wahed. Welcome you to another video, inshallah. Today we are here in our local mosque, Crayford Mosque. We do open days once in a month, every first week of Sunday, and Alhamdulillah, we're getting a lot of response from our non-Muslims community. And I have today with me a brother. He's one of the organizers of this event, and inshallah he will give you in detail. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Kamal bhai, how are you? Kamal bhai, can you tell us what do you do as an open day, and what is the purpose of this?
Alhamdulillah, as you've mentioned, obviously in the community we have opened up the masjid to open day once every month, first Sunday of every month. The purpose of it was to bring the community together, first and foremost, and two, to help the community understand the concept of Islam in the true light of Islam. Because unfortunately today, as we all know, the concept of Islam, the way Islam is portrayed, is not in our favor, generally speaking. So these events, these open days are open to our communities around us. A lot of them are non-Muslims, to be able to come here and be able to understand what happens in the masajid, what Muslims we do as Muslims, and remove any misconceptions that they may have. And as you've experienced as well, being here with me during that time, the conversations we have with them, a lot of the times it's just pure misconception. There isn't actually any valid points that they're making that is actually true. A lot of it is just misunderstanding, not or seeing a message that was incorrectly presented. And alhamdulillah, through these events we have been able to remove a lot of those misconceptions. People have been able to take a lot of comfort. I spoke to a young man last week. He wants to become a Muslim, but he had many worries and concerns in the sense of, oh, but if I do become a Muslim, then I have to, X, Y, and Z, and all these. And I said to him, yeah, he does not know. And I said to him, look, just because you become a Muslim, it's a way of life. That's all it is, and that's the part you need to understand. Islam is a way of life. It's not about rules and regulations. It's about how you live your life in submission to God. And that's what the whole purpose of life is. So that's what we try and explain to them. And obviously for these brothers and sisters that come and take their shahada, we've had
أشهد
أشهد
أن لا
أن لا
إله
إله
إلا الله
إلا الله
وأشهد
وأشهد
أن
أن
محمدا
محمدا
عبده
عبده
ورسوله.
ورسوله.
shahada. We've had many shahadas since that time. And, I pray to make dua all the time to Allah that He accepts our efforts. We don't do this so we may take shahada immediately. The point of it is to get a message out, give them the true light of Islam.
Do you find that these sort of events are missing in the Muslim communities in the West, especially America, UK, or whatever?
I was going to go to that point. I think we need to do more of this. We have many things that we do in the Muslim. Alhamdulillah, in the UK, as most people know, we've got many organizations that are doing the effort of that, work of that, or whether that's street that, or whether that's publicly and all this kind of thing. But I think masajids generally across the Western world need to do these things, because the masajid itself, everybody, whether you're a Muslim or not, you recognize the masjid as a center of the community, a place of worship, regardless of whether the Muslim, and it's a place of worship is always recognized as a place of peace, right? So if places like this open up to the public, it gives them a platform of a peaceful conversation. Doing street da'wah is great, but you're on the streets. There's distractions. You're in a marketplace trying to give da'wah. It's not the same. It's a difficult challenge, and it's great to do it. But I think in the masjid, you've given them that opportunity. They're in a place of peace. They're in a place of worship. They're in comfort zone. And they can have
It's also easy for us to deliver the message.
Deliver the message much easier. And I was going to get to that. You've been doing it yourself, here where you're having conversation. You've got access to the Quran in your hand, and you can sit with them in a comfortable place. You can give them a cup of tea.
You give them a different experience.
You give them a different experience. We provide them with tea, coffee. And what is the purpose? The whole point of it is to make them comfortable so that they feel like they're part of us. We're not differentiating. And I think that's why my personal suggestion would be as many massages as possible should do this effort.
Kamal bhai, I've got another question. 2 months ago, we did a night stayover for boys in the masjid. Can you tell us a little bit about this and why it's needed?
We did a youth program, as you mentioned, which was an overnight stay for the youth. And when I say youth, I'm talking young from 10, 11, all the way up to 21, 22, uni kids, and even some adults, came over 20, The purpose of it was to connect them with the masjid. One of the biggest challenges, personally, I've seen, I come from East London, so this area is new to me, and growing up in East London, one of the things that always was good to find was that the youth, we were always pulled towards the masjid. We were always asked to connect with the masjid, and we were connecting with the masjid. And I think that kept us understanding Deen better, kept us with the connection with Allah. And I think that's very important for the youth of this generation, especially in the day and age we live in today. If they don't connect with the masjid, they don't understand the importance of that, then slowly the masajid will become empty. Today we're here, and then what happens after that?
And many a times we see a lot of our young brothers and sisters, they start getting the shubuhat, the doubts in Islam, and most of them actually leave in Islam, unfortunately. Jazakumullah khairan, Kamal bhai. Inshallah, we'll speak to you again, and inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.